everyone. I'm John Pedro, run operations for PAIX, and I actually had a really nice presentation, but someone was nice enough to relieve me of my backpack with my laptop, so bear with me, I'll have to wing it and go it on the fly. As most of you probably have either read the article or found out even earlier last week, PAIX has been acquired by AboveNet, and I want to talk a little about how our setup is going to be. I guess number one question is, will we retain neutrality? And the answer is yes. We're going to be set up as a fully owned subsidiary of AboveNet. We'll have our own board of directors, independent of AboveNet's board. We'll also have our own advisory board, and I'm happy to announce that Paul Vixie has been selected as our chairman. And the board will be comprised of industry experts. AboveNet will remain a customer of PAIX, just like the other 60-plus ISPs at PAIX. They will not get any special deals, extra racks, free escorts, or anything like that. They'll be, for example, fully escorted like everyone else. The revenue stream from PAIX will remain with PAIX for future development of our organization. We're under a quiet period for the next 30 days or so, so I'm not able to comment on our future really, but it looks very bright. For the last 3 years, we've had a vision on how to improve on PAIX, and with this opportunity, we'll finally be able to fulfill that vision, as since Compact hasn't really done anything with us. Let's see what else I wanted to say on this. I'll come back to it if I think of anything else. In terms of update on PAIX itself, we're currently have about 70 registered peers. We're running on 3 gig switches. Our average last week in terms of traffic was about 750 megabits. We actually peaked a little over a gig the previous week. We're starting to take a look at new technology. We actually have a switch that we're starting to take a look at, and so very soon we'll hope to be offer a gigabit Ethernet, packet over SURFnet, OC3, OC12, and have a good program for migrating individuals off of FIDI over to new fabric. We're also looking at getting away from 10 meg connections by the end of the year, and we're targeting our pricing structure so that will be feasible for companies currently on the 10 meg connections to upgrade to fast Ethernet without opening up their wallet too much. Also wanted to announce that our fast Ethernet is available now on our 50 gig switches. We have about 6 connections going. Let's see. In terms of the amount of, or the breakdown of our customer base at the moment, is about 60 plus ISPs, 10 or so content providers, and 8 telcos, actually one of which is a CLAC. To touch a little bit on Bill Norton's presentation a little while ago, we had a slide that shows the future of exchanges, and some of that actually seen quite a growth in terms of PAIX, so it's somewhat of an example of what he showed with multiple carriers, multiple ISPs, and then I believe there was a section called virtual ISPs where companies were selling or using the exchange for DSL service, which we have a number of companies doing that. Web hosting, UUNet is one of our biggest ones in that arena. Dial-up, email, and news services. So definitely we see a growth in that sector. In terms of private interconnections, we currently boast about 150 or so private interconnections. Most of those are probably running fast Ethernet based on the connections that I see. Another big chunk running OC3 and OC12 connections and some FIDI. Out of the telcos, we have a little over 700 connections from dial-up all the way to OC12, which is the highest circuit so far coming out of there. And we currently have installed 23 OC48s. 3 of those are private OC48s, and actually included in there is a OC192. Coming up within the next two and a half months, we have a new telco coming on board. We'll finalize the contract negotiations, so I'm not going to list their name, but they've committed to bring in 2 OC48s. We also have another company that's committed to bringing in a OC192, so 3 more OC48s and 1 OC92 coming into the facility. PacBell's actually brought in just recently 96 more strands of fiber. So our building's starting to look like Swiss cheese with holes carved all over the place to bring in fiber, which there's 4 or 5 different entries now into the building. In the very near future, we're adding 170 ISP racks. Actually, June 15th is a target move-in date. I would say that at least 90% of those are already taken. If we were to fulfill everyone's wish list in terms of rack space, we would have to build a facility right there with over 700 racks. I'm also adding about 20 to 25 new telco bays. And we're talking with a few other telcos, hopefully, very preliminary, that they've taken an interest in us. I think that's pretty much it. I forgot what my last slide was. I guess I'll hand it over to Greg. Thank you.
Great. We'll invite all of the IXPs up for maybe just a minute. We're running a little bit behind. I want to the staff and Steve and Mark and John and others. And well, first we should see if there's any questions. I feel really silly inviting everyone up and there's no questions from the audience. So can we at least get one question? I'm feeling silly. Please? Oh, Bill. Okay, great. Maybe we'll even have 2 questions. We'll see. Can't tell if people are leaving or walking to the mics. If you're walking to the mics, raise your hand. Okay. Make sure you introduce yourself, by the way.
Patrick Gilmore, Pacific Gateway Exchange. I'm wondering, and I'm sorry if this has already been answered, if the MAE ATMs are ever going to connect to the MAE FIDIs, and if not, why not?
The answer is probably not, and the answer is LAN emulation. To be more specific, actually, we looked at it, and the only solution that would appear to work involved buying lots of LAN emulation to FIDI translator boxes, which looked ugly and expensive at best. So, no.
I think it's, sorry, Dave Siegel. I think it's great that you guys are building out additional entrance facilities to MAE East and MAE West. When do you think your company is going to address the issues with lack of power?
Sure. I have the same problem myself, and I don't know the answer to it. I know it's being looked at, but I couldn't begin to tell you what the projected solutions or timeframes are.
Okay. Any other questions for the IXPs up here? Okay. Thank you all.